What's good, y'all? It's Blue Set Time. We back with another little discussion video. I wanna talk about a generation of gaming that I feel we won't see again. A lot of y'all know that my favorite era of gaming is around the time of the GameCube, the GBA, the Nintendo DS. And I throw the 3DS in there too because of what it did. One thing that era brought was a lot of creativity. And when it comes to creativity really was needed when it came to creating a handheld experience. And in today's time, handheld is a little different. And that's why I want to talk today about my appreciation for the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo DS, mainly those systems on Nintendo. Of course, I got love for the PSP. I got love for the Vita, even though the Vita kind of just, it didn't have a lot. But the Vita was the start of what I want to talk about today and why handheld gaming will not be the same. So first and foremost, please, if you could like and subscribe, because we're a closer YouTube partner. And if you could answer this question in the comment section, what was your favorite handheld system? Do we have Game Boy Advance fans, DS fans, OG Game Boy, PSP, Vitas? Let me know in the comment section. But let's get right into it. The reason I say that handheld gaming won't be the same is because they aren't making separate experiences for handheld only. If y'all remember, we used to get games with the same title, the same game, but they were made in a way that fit the technology. So you could have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on the N64, on the GameCube, but you have it also on the Game Boy Advance, but just in a different way, in a different perspective. And the gameplay would be different, or it would be a different version of what you got on mainline consoles. And that's what made it special, because they were two separate games. You could totally buy those two games and get a different experience. For instance, the herbs on the GameCube and the herbs on the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS was an entire different experience compared to its counterparts. And that's what I mean when I say the creativity that it took to make a handheld game that would be appealing and fun was the charm and the beauty of the handheld genre back in the day. And we won't get that anymore. Ever since the Nintendo 3DS was discontinued and they moved on to the Nintendo Switch, handheld gaming has become something that people wanted to be able to experience console-like experiences on the go, in bed, laying down. People wanted to be able to play those big games on the go, which is why people are coming up with new ways to bring the PC experience, say the Steamdeck, the Rogue Ally, all of that. People want to see those big games, the good graphics, the 1080p, the 60 frames per second, and they really wanted to be better than that. And that's the focus on handheld gaming these days. No longer are they creating separate experiences for handheld. It's really just the ability to port a game or make a game that works on your console and also in handheld. And that's one of the things that I say, it's kind of started with the Vita. While the Vita was good technology, the Vita also had games that you could buy and then play them on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 as well. But there were games that looked barely different than its counterpart, which is why, partly why the Vita kind of fell, because there weren't enough games that were made solely for the Vita, and PlayStation gave up. Meanwhile, the 3DS was flourishing because they had games that you couldn't play on the Wii, the Wii U. But that all changed when the Switch came, and now the Switch is a hybrid console. And I think the hybrid console is the future, because that's what people are asking for. And that's what's sad, because I do miss that era of handheld gaming, again, where it's creative in making a separate experience and giving us something different than we expected with the limited hardware. You got dope RPGs. You got, I'll put it like this, Game Boy Advance, some of the best games I ever played. Also one of the best JRPG machines on the go. Before the Switch, before any of that, you had games that exemplified fun gameplay and good story in handheld mode on a cartridge that really took you in great places. Final Fantasy Tactics, for instance, the other Final Fantasy things, Golden Sun, which is a GOAT, Luffy, all type of games that just really showed you the capabilities of the Game Boy Advance. Even things like Mario and Luigi Superstar, it was so much. But also they had just so many fun games and genres on there. Pokemon was a machine on the Game Boy Advance, on the DS, on the 3DS, and that was an era of Pokemon I feel like was the best. Another things that these handheld had, they gave you a new way to be social. And gave you more experiences on the go. And I don't know if we'll see that again. I would love to see Nintendo bring back things that the Nintendo DS and 3DS brought out, like Street Pass, or just things that made you interact with people because you had your game with you. Those were really unique experiences that I don't think we'll see again. And I remember walking on my college campus. That, I mean, they might date me. I know somebody in the comment section they said stuff makes me look old, antique, not the good kind. Shut up. But I think that was one of the other fun things about the DS is how they came up with creative things to do outside of just the normal games, like the AR things, the scanning cards. They had browsers and things on there, which it still exists, but that era of gaming was just fun when it came to handhelds because it was a unique time. And I know a lot of people missed out on that because I think in the era of when the 3DS and DS came out, a lot of people were looking to transition into those older, mature games to the better graphics. And not to say that Nintendo doesn't have games for everyone, because that's what the family stand for everybody. And that's what I think made people miss out, because there were plenty of games for whoever wanted to play. JRPGs, action games, all of that stuff was available, and a lot of people missed out, which is why I'm glad to see that Apple has made emulators available, because I've seen people going back and playing Nintendo DS games that they missed out on. I've seen people in the retro community playing games that they missed out on. And if you're gonna play some games that you want to see a unique experience that you probably won't ever see again, definitely go look into Game Boy Advance games, Nintendo DS games, maybe even PSP games, Nintendo 3DS games, because that's an era that was very fun and unique and brought a lot of more people into gaming. Like, this Animal Crossing was very big on the handhelds. Some people still believe that the 3DS and the DS versions are some of the best. You look into other games, Dragon Quest on the DS, there were so many games for people to play, and again, a lot of JRPGs. So this is just a little quick video of me just kind of appreciating that time, and just kind of sad to see that we may not ever see that type of gaming again, because we're focused more on the graphics and the way things looks versus the experiences. So creativity in gaming, especially with handhelds, has changed a bit. And instead of focusing on making separate experiences for handheld compared to the console, they are now combined and are one, because people are looking to play their big games, their PC games, their PlayStation games, their Nintendo Switch games on the go, and they want that same experience that they can get in front of a TV or computer. And that's not a bad thing, but it is a sad thing to see an era gone. It's officially gone. It was gone a while ago, but it's been on my mind, so I wanted to ask y'all about it. But that's all for me. Let me know how you feel about that. Are you a fan of the older handheld games, or do you want this new era of games to make gaming even bigger graphically and the way they run and the way games are made on the go? Or do you miss that separate experience? And tell me some of your favorite games in the comment section. That's all from me. Let me know if you want to talk about anything else in the comment section as well. And again, I appreciate y'all for watching the video. Y'all have a good one. Bye.